'tis the sinister season. But you know what our very dear, close, personal, longtime friend would say to anything that may startle you or go bump in the night. He would say, Cero miedo.
It's live, pal.
It's live. No fear. We got no fear. What's up, Twitchy? What's up, internet, interwebs, tubes, ones and zeros, if you will. We got it's Modelo Monday, but we have it's time. It's Cero Miedo en Vivo. See, that is correct. So we got a jam-packed show full of goodies, both that we're gonna consume with our mouths, and then you're gonna consume with your mind via your ears. So we got Dia de los Muertes Modelos, because it's Modelo Monday. Dia de los Muertes Pop Tarts. And then we're going to go over some Halloween, because it was Halloween Kills weekend. $50 million domestic at the box office this weekend. And then we're going to go over the whole franchise. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for all of this? It's all of it.
Did you watch it? How many times did you watch it?
I just watched it once. Well, I watched it once, and then I watched a TLDR YouTube video to see what I missed. So
You went to the theater, though, right?
I had to go to the theater. I love horror movies in the theater. I want to hear people scream. And we had there was a couple of screamers. There was the couple who brought the kids that may or may not be probably too young for this one, because this one was way more violent than any of the other Halloweens before. I mean, I know the last one, 2018, was the teeth smashing, the gnarling mashing of teeth, but this one was a lot more violent, wouldn't you say?
I thought it was, hold on one second. Yes, I thought it was extremely violent.
Yeah.
You had people shooting themselves in the face. You had one guy broken into bits. If you haven't seen the movie, we're going to do spoilers.
Yeah,
so
this is going to be a
go
spoiler.
subscribe to Peacock and watch it now.
Yeah, it's worth it.
And come back.
Yeah. Thumbs up. Butcher knife, Halloween, pumpkin emoji, and a skull with the crossbones on it. For sure. But yeah, way more violent. So you liked it though, right?
I thought it was good. I don't know what folks are complaining about. Folks all over the internet seem to hate it.
Yeah, we'll go over this a little bit more. I have my opinions that this is more of the Empire Strikes Back of the saga, for sure.
I mean, I feel like we'll get into it. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it. But first, let's. What do we do here? Do we wet our whistle first, or do we go right to the Pop Tarts?
Let's see.
Yeah,
well,
let me bring one in.
Yeah, well, let's get a look at them.
Yeah, so let's go. So these are. Let me pull this up. Let me pull it the right way. There you go. Check it out.
Here, put it on the close-up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we could do that. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I can just leave it on the table. I go too low. All right. Yeah, there you go. It's chocolatey churro.
Grab the Blockbuster case right there. It's in the next.
Oh yeah. You need higher?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go higher. Get higher, baby. Don't ever go down. Free bass. Yeah, so it's Dia de Muertes Pop Tarts, chocolatey churro. So we probably should do this because I don't know how well it's gonna go with Modelo.
Well, we're gonna need to toast them too. I'm not a cold Pop-Tart guy.
I like them cold, so we'll do one hot, one cold. We'll Katy Perry this. You're
And
hot
I don't know
and
if there's
you're cold.
different designs in there, possibly.
There could be. So it's the two pastries are 390 calories. That's not terrible. That's a breakfast.
That's for
That's
for a
breakfast.
2-pack.
Yeah, that's the double pack. Yeah, so breakfast. So yeah, so you want to start? Let's toast them up. Well, let's unbox it. You want to unbox it?
Yeah, go ahead
Let's
and
just
open them
jump
up.
in because it's right here. Because we have our Modelos, our Dia de Muertes. Dia de los Muertes.
Dia de los Muertes.
Yes, that is. They're chilling in there. So let's do a little unboxing, if you will.
It's how they do it on YouTube, man.
Yeah.
People make a lot of money doing this stuff.
Okay. Got this. All right. I don't want to crack the design. I don't want to have a Squid Game moment where I crack something that shouldn't be cracked. Spoiler.
I'm still in episode 1. Don't spoil.
Okay, yeah. All right, that's just the wrapper. So let's see what's inside. We do have a toaster gimmick here that we're going to use, but let's see if there's any designs first. Oh, yeah. There is designs. There you go. Check it out.
And what's that flavor again?
Just like Grandma used to make. Abuela. Yeah. This one is they're all chocolatey churro, I believe.
Why is every Hispanic thing a churro flavor?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just churro.
Just dial it back, guys.
Yeah, just enough with the churros. Yeah, one of our favorite burrito joints in town, Cabo Bob's. You know, they're the Cabo style burritos. They have brownies, and then they got the chocolate brownies, but they have a vanilla blondie, which is churro flavored. So
Is that the only design in the box, or
Yeah,
is
I
there
don't know.
multiple?
Let's check it out. I'm gonna toast this one while we wait. Toaster gimmick activate. Let's see the other one. Oh, it's a little different. Yeah, check it out. This one is a little different.
What is that?
Pumpkins?
No, is that pumpkins?
I don't know.
What does that have to do with?
Oh no, well there's skulls in there. They're orange skulls with green skulls. I thought they were mushrooms. But yeah, they're orange skulls and let's crack one open because I'll eat it cold. I got no qualms with that. Yeah, you got to grab the fact yeah, they are artsy. So yeah, there's the chocolatey churro there. Get in on that action there. There you go.
See that?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna give
tear
it.
into it?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a whirl. Let's get in my mouth hole. All right. Pumpkin calaveras. That's what JJ said it is. Man, that's good though.
Yeah, chocolatey churro's good.
Mm-hmm. Get in my mouth hole. I'm going again. I am glad we're doing this before the beer.
Yeah,
We might need to cleanse our palate,
yeah.
but it's good. How toasty do you want it?
You know, like just brownish. I just don't
Brown,
like.
eh?
I just don't like them cold.
All right. They did give the nutrition facts in Spanish and English, so it's cool. So nutrition facts / datos de nutrición, calories que es caloras, gres total is total fat. So yeah, I mean they're not. Oh, here's the designs. Unless you want to crack them all open.
Well, let's see the side of the box.
I don't know if
here, see what
Lucciolati, if we want to save them or crack them all open, but they got the different designs on here.
Well, I don't see the pumpkin calaveras one on there.
No, I don't see that one. You're right. Do we open one more? I don't know.
Yeah, I think we should open at least one
All
more.
right.
See what we get out of there.
This one's untoasted. I mean, this one's already ready. You want me to bring it over?
Yeah.
All right, intern mode, activate. We'll bring it. Paper towel here,
Yeah,
too.
We'll do a little Dia de los Muertos Pop Tarts music.
You might got the best design.
All right, I'll try this one. Thank you. Every time Pop Tarts come up, I always think of that movie My Stepmother Was an Alien, because there's a scene where the kid in that, who actually is one of the characters from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, she's eating Pop Tarts, and then she bakes the Pop Tart, and then she puts like chocolate syrup and maple syrup on top,
Oh,
and then
yes.
like candy sprinkles
Yep.
and stuff like that. And then she makes that, and then she splits it in half and gives half to the dog. And then she eats that half of Pop Tart with a Coke.
I do remember that. Yeah, I remember it was very in the prep, and it was a lot more intense than the actual consumption of it. But I want to eat this one again cold, but I want to see what you think first. I want you to dig into the hot one.
All right, let me give it a shot.
Yeah, give it a whirl.
Wow.
Chocolate and churro-y.
I mean, churro is just like a coverall name for anything cinnamony and Hispanic.
Yeah, is that what churro is? Is it just cinnamon?
Cinnamon and sugar. Hey, that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's good. I mean, I'm not a Pop-Tart guy per se, but these are good.
Like I said, I like them cold. Well, cold or room temp. Because now it's more like you're eating a cookie.
I don't know. They feel uncooked to me.
Oh, when you're. Because but churros are usually hot. So should we be doing it hot?
I think you should try a hot one.
All right.
But you don't have to finish that one. Okay. I know you're a completist.
I am a completist. So I'm gonna finish it. No Pop-Tart left behind. Let's do one more. Apologies for Luke Gelati if this was like we're going through your breakfast, but we thought it'd go really good for the Dia de los Muertos. All right, let's see. Let's see what designs we got in here. All right, we got 2 more designs.
Let's see those on the close there.
All right, well, we got one more design. I'm gonna put that one in the toaster because we already saw that one. That's the pumpkin calaveras. But what's this one?
What is that? I can't tell. Why are these on the side of the box? The ones on the side of the box are completely different.
I don't know. I'm gonna toast it though.
JJ says it's upside down.
Oh. There you go.
Oh, now I can see the skull. All right.
What is that, JJ? I have no idea.
I mean, there's definitely a skull in there, but I can't tell exactly. Open another one. How many packs we got in there? This is you don't have to toast them all, but like like when you get the
all right
decks of cards, you got to just see what else you got.
Check them all with that stale ass gum with the powdered sugar on it.
We'll seal them back up and eat them later.
All right, we'll just open this. All right, we definitely had to have 2 because you can't eat one Pop-Tart. You got to eat 2 Pop-Tarts.
I just want to see a different. See what
All right, no. So we got
something new.
Yeah, are we sure that's
That's another one. That's a misprint.
I don't know, but it's
that should have been discounted.
But
that's
it's
a
like
botch.
a cat, and then it's right side up. But mira, we got the cat gato.
All right,
gato loco.
That's the one. That's the winner right there.
Yeah, this one looks sweet.
I want that one.
You want me to toast it?
I don't know if I should.
Oh, should we really seal it back up? I don't know.
All right, no, let's save that one.
All right.
I might want that one. Or somebody might want that one.
All right, I'm going to put it back in there. But we got 2 more coming, so I'm going to activate intern mode and bring that next one over to you. Here we go.
Is it done?
It's about to be, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's like I sensed it. Here they. All right, they're done. Here I come.
All right. This is Coke and coffee, by the way, which is, I don't know if you've tried these. These are really good. When did this show just become about junk food? Thank you. Dia de los Podcat.
Dia de los Podcat.
I mean, that's the coolest one so far.
Dia de los Podcat. I think that's exactly what it is. JJ found the name. All right, I'm going in hot. Coming in hot. Because this is the pumpkin one. This one just feels like, I think I have a fear of that whole searing heat, like eating pizza cheese. Oh, the one that was upside down is called papel picado.
Papel picado.
All right.
We should have done some research.
Yeah. I just wanted to eat it. Let me put it in my mouth hole.
So what do you think? Hot? No? Are you going to switch?
Mm-mm. I'm still cold.
Oh, man, I don't know. I can't do it cold.
I know the show is all about cero miedo, but I am afraid of burning the roof of my mouth. And I don't think it's ever happened to me. I don't think I've ever had like a scarring Pop-Tart incident growing up. But look good though.
I don't think I've ever had a Pop-Tart incident, but I've had serious pizza burns.
That's
I want to go in and get that pizza as hot as it possibly can be.
Really?
As hot as I can tolerate.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's trouble. You don't do cold pizza for breakfast?
I'm not a cold pizza guy either.
That means you must not like sandwiches.
I kind of don't.
Oh.
I have this thing that my thing about sandwiches is that I think sandwiches should be free. It's always been my feeling. I feel that's just a food that should be free. I don't think you should have to pay for that. That's like like a last resort kind of food. Just my opinion.
Well, I mean, I used to work at a sandwich shop, and that was my way of hooking my friends up. I'd make like, the sandwiches they'd see at Scooby Doo when the meat was so high you couldn't like even squish it down.
Would you shuffle it like a deck of cards?
I know you did that. Oh man, it's hard to focus. These are really good though. I'm giving these.
It's about to get real hard to focus after sugar kicks in.
I know. But I would definitely give these a thumbs up for sure. I do prefer the Pop Tarts that are like this, that are more of the desserty flavor rather than the fruit flavored ones.
Yeah. You don't have fruit for dessert ever?
I do. I just prefer this churro type, chocolate type with the frosting. It feels more like a cookie. Oh, I hit the mic.
Chocolate churros sound weird to me, but I kind of like it.
Chocolate churro. Or did it say chocolate? We'll get the box back out. I'm sorry. It is chocolate churro. And that's 12, and we just blazed through 4.
That's a 12-pack?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right,
so we got plenty.
Yeah, there is. Oh, collect all 9 unique designs. So we got 4. Wait, how do you collect them though? Like, don't you have to eat them?
They make special plastic sleeves for your Pop-Tarts. That's where you can save them.
Like comic books. All right, one more from my mouth hole. Let's see if it can fit. Oh, cranberry. It was a crumb explosion here. But toasters are used to that. But yeah, I would definitely give. Do they have the Latin emojis that we can give a rating for this? Obviously, you have to give it a skull.
Candy skull. Two candy skulls.
2 candy skulls. Yeah. Because it's dead. Bro, I'm dead. You killed me. I'm dead. Because that's what skull emojis mean now, right? It's not like I'm going to kill you. That means I'm dying of laughter.
I died laughing. I'm dead
laughing.
now.
I'm dead.
Do you realize how close to idiocracy that is when you realize that? Remember where they're at the hospital and the hospital screen is just emojis?
Oh, yeah. He was a fucking oracle, man. Mike Judge, the oracle.
One of these days, you got to tell you're hanging out with Mike Judge stories.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot. Well, you heard some of them. Mm-hmm. We have a movie review we're going to be doing. The Hard Luck Love Song. We were actually at the premiere of that.
With a special guest.
With a special guest.
No spoilers.
Yes. We'll give you the couple of hints. Hashtag hints. Hashtag Fat Gandalf. Hashtag Cock Meat Sandwich. Hashtag Sucks to Be You Nerd.
Hashtag Family Style.
Hashtag Family Style. So yeah, that'll be our show on Wednesday. But that's for Weird Beer Wednesday. Today, it's about the Modelo Monday. So I'm going to go get our Modelos. Do you want the, how would you say, do you want the Blanca? ¿Tú quieres de Blanca? Or tú quieres Negra?
You want to try them both, yeah?
Yeah, but do you want me to crack them both open here?
Yeah, let's just grab them both.
All right, let's do that. All right. Intern mode, activate.
Oh, it loops. Well, I didn't know that. Eventually, the show's gonna run super smooth, like something you'd see on the internet.
But we're live, pal. That's the way to do it. All right. Dia de la Muerte. So
You got those on the.
Yeah, I got them on. I got them.
Now these are not any kind of different flavor. These is your regular especial and your regular negra.
Yeah. So is it the dark beer and the light beer?
That's right.
So I mean I like the battle between. It feels like a battle between good and evil.
Yeah.
Right. The dark side and the light side. I do prefer dark beer.
I prefer the Negro Modelo. I'll just say it right now. I do prefer the Negro Modelo, but I haven't tasted it out of that can, so.
All right, let's try it. So
it could be a big change.
Senor Pancho is here to assist us. We'll crack open. Let's crack open the Negra first. So we'll put one Senor Pancho there. Do you want me to do it on the over the? Well, let me get the Foley.
Yeah, there you go.
Sounded good.
Did you see it shift the lights behind you?
It did. We did not plan that here. All right. Oh, you want me to do? Yeah, I'll do it on the close up. All right. Bartender mode. Oh yeah, that looks good. That's dark. It's got a good amber taste. Amber light. Switcheroo. Senor Pancho number 2. That would be a great. I think we should wrestle with this gimmick.
As a poncho?
Yeah, it's ponchos. All right, we're fair. We're fair and balanced here.
Looks good. Now, I'm gonna need one of them
Ooh,
lime slices there.
Okay.
With a little salt on it. If you rub it in the salt for me, you can place it on the glass.
oh, okay, yeah. So I get some. Get that.
I need salt and lime in my Modelo. I don't know about you.
Look at that. Check it out. What's that look like to you? That work?
Yes, that's good.
All right. Intern mode activate.
Eventually, we're gonna hit that last ponchos. Why am I drinking that? Eventually, we'll hit the final ponchos. I would like to go. I feel like that would be sort of like complete a circle in my life, and I'd go there and actually eat sopapillas the correct way.
Probably already would go good with the red chili stew.
Yeah.
Feel it?
Mm-hmm.
The distinguished gentleman with his beer. All right, so you're saying do I salt the rim?
No, you can just like rub the salt on the lime there, and it's already split, so you can put it on your, and then you can rub it around your rim if you want. The rim of the cup, not.
It's a family show. All right,
There you go.
good.
Good.
All right, let's do it. Let's get this in our mouth holes, shall we? Ready?
All right, the Day of the Dead special edition.
Yeah.
Negro Modelo.
Dia de la
Let's do
Muertes
it.
Negra. Cheers. Salud. Oh yeah, I like it.
I mean, I like Negro Modelo.
Yeah, I got a lot of salt. Let me try it wet up. Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
I like to squeeze it into the beer. I don't know about you, but
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do. Have you been to what's the name of the taco joint here in town that Quentin Tarantino filmed? Death Proof.
Gueros.
Gueros. Yeah. This feels like it just transported me there.
Yeah.
It just had that. I don't know if it's just that I must have had a Modelo there, but it literally transported me there to but it transported me there to circa 2009.
Yeah.
But
That movie. I was trying to do the impression of what's her name, Jordan Ladd, who was in that movie.
Oh.
The way they said it, just Gueros. The G silent.
That's not what else was she been in?
She ain't been nothing in a while. She
Nothing,
was in
right?
Cabin Fever.
Oh yeah, Cabin Fever. I had that. I bought that may have been no. I bought a CD of the soundtrack, and then that may have been my last CD purchase.
Death Proof?
Yeah, and I bought that, and then Amazon. I bought it on Amazon, and they automatically moved it to the cloud for me. So I was like, oh, I guess all my music's gonna be digital now. Cause
They give you both. When you buy anything on Amazon that's physical media, they give you the digital
give you
copy.
both now, right?
And
But
then
I love that soundtrack. But yeah, that might be another day. But I really dig that soundtrack.
I think that movie is a little bit overhated too. Like I don't think it's Quentin Tarantino's worst movie.
Oh, I think you just got our new segment. I've been trying to come up. We needed like a, you know how Gary Vee does overrated and underrated. Do we
Yeah.
do overrated or overhated?
That's good, but I think there's an overhated podcast already.
Oh, there is. All right, you guys can keep it.
But we can come up with something way better.
Yeah, easily. But you know. I struggle with finding the amount of the alcohol. Oh, it's 5.4. And
5.4. Well, yeah. I guess the Negro is a little stronger. I think the other is not. The other's not that quite that strong.
do you want a new glass, or are you gonna gun that one?
Um,
Or do you want a new glass for the especial?
I was probably gonna finish this one.
All right, if you want to gun it, go ahead and gun it. I don't know if I can gun it. Let's through the mouth hole. Need a beer straw.
You really need a tasting mask.
Chugged. Live, pal. Live TV. That was good though. That was like legit.
I mean, it's refreshing. Like
Yeah.
even though it's not Modelo mango chile, but it's tasty still.
Yeah, no, those definitely. I don't want to seclude them because I don't know if that's their gimmick, and I don't want to step on their gimmick, and I don't know if they're trying to make those chiladas a summer drink or not. So I don't want to seclude them to the summer. But this beer is a fall beer. This felt like a fall beer.
Hey, luckily it's fall.
Yeah, so
That's probably why it's going down so smooth.
yeah, no, I had zero issues gunning that. And it was 5.4. Whereas the Especial, oh yeah, that's in the 4s, so it's a little bit less. But the Especials, it's, oh man, I might need a JJ translation here. It's a Celebramos. Celebramos?
Celebramos? What do you mean?
It says it above. It says it above Dia de los Muertos. It says
We celebrate?
We celebrate Day of the Dead.
Celebramos? We're celebrating Dia de los Muertos?
Yeah, it must be it. But yeah, if you want to take one more look at that before I crack that sucker open.
Get the 2-pack when you go.
Yeah, I can't pick. Don't make me choose. I cannot. Yeah, so I mean the artwork is really great. It does make it feel like a special beer. You know, I'm assuming it is going to be one of their seasonal brews, for sure.
Well, the can at least.
Yeah, but it looks great. But we have a couple on our grams. We're following a few Modelo brand ambassadors. One out of San Fran and one out of that's just gone wild. Maybe they can help clarify which one are just for special brews and what's just their standard brews. Because we're going to do a gimmick here where we're going to run to a taco truck and grab a couple of tacos and then come back and do it because it's just meant to go with like those tacos we had after the movie premiere. And man, if we had a beer, it would have been
that would have been good.
That would have been a slam dunk. All right, let's drink into the Especial. You want me to bring you another lime too?
Yeah.
All right.
How about just crack it there on camera and then just
right.
walk the can over?
We'll do that. Good gulp. All right, let me get my gimmick in here. You can see it's definitely it's of the lighter fare. So yeah, I feel like this one is really going to be good for lime. You know what? I'm going to actually just pop one of them suckers in there right there. Preemptive because it's lime. How do you not dig lime? And then the other one we will do right there. That gimmick there. All right. In turn mode, activate.
All right, that'll do. Now, if you're out there and you see these Modelo cans, feel free to get one and drink it yourself. You don't have to split them with a coworker. You can have the whole thing if you want. I'm kind of partial to tall cans actually because I don't know why.
I think you got me hooked on tall cans. Because now when I go browsing for Weird Beer Wednesdays, I'm like, oh, it's just one of the little dinky cans. Now those feel like very fitting on Halloween. You get the fun size. Yeah. The little cans feel like fun size candy bars now, and these feel like whole candy bars.
Yeah.
which is a
full
big
size.
deal.
They're share size, but you can eat them yourself.
Yeah, but I think these are good. But yeah, when you're ready, I'm ready to put this in my mouth hole. Yeah, you gotta have the tall boy.
I
Keeping
just
it
think
real.
that it just when you get a beer, you want a lot of beer. You don't want a small amount of beer. Like a tiny amount. I'd rather have one big one than two smaller ones.
Yeah, I agree. All right, I am. Sorry, I got pinged there. All right, I'm ready, man.
Freaking B2B marketing.
It is. It never stops. And that hence the beer. All right, salud.
Cheers.
Salud. That's good. That's definitely the lighter one.
I'm a little torn. I like that a lot too.
That's the lighter fare. That'll go down fast.
I mean, Negro went down pretty smooth. This one does even easier, but
Yeah, this is
I can't tell. I don't know which I like better now. The can's throwing me off.
the artwork is great. I think the Especial is better for the lime. I think the lime goes better with the lighter fare than with the Negra. I feel like I didn't really need, not that you need the lime on the other one, but I feel like it's definitely goes more. It's more the lime and salt is a little bit more natural from that. And let's see if you can you get that fizz on the lime. There's something about that fizz. I don't know the science behind it. Let me send your poncho to the side. You seeing that fizz?
That's like the salt, carbon dioxide in the salt.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just said that.
But you see how it does it? It's almost like a lava lamp. And I feel like it does that more in the light beer. But yeah, thumbs up on both of them for sure. Good job, Modelo. You know, because I got to be quite honest. Before we start doing the show, I really was in more like, if I was going to be doing the street tacos, I was always more about Corona. And I feel like Corona's spending a lot more money. They got Snoop Dogg, they got Bad Bunny, they got Gamora.
Yeah.
But I feel like Modelo is like, if I would bring somebody to town and I want to bring them to my favorite, taco truck or something, I'm saying a Modelo now.
I agree.
I've been
like Modelo better,
I've been
yeah.
totally converted because of this show.
Corona to me is a little bit like the Bud Light of
Yeah.
Mexican beers.
And I believe I think we researched this, and they might actually be brewed by the same company. But this one feels, I guess, a little bit more authentic. And if you want, when you get a street taco, the tacos are a little bit more authentic. I feel like these are going to go way better with your tacos.
Especially when they're super, super cold. You got to put them in the freezer. You know what I mean? Put them to the freezer for, a good 15 minutes maybe. And, let them get almost frozen before you crack them.
So in your Tinder profile would be, I like my Pop Tarts hot and my beer cold.
Modelo cold. They do go good with these Day of the Dead Pop Tarts. I disagree. Whoever said
Yeah.
be a good mix.
We quoted Greece earlier. It says here it's a dessert wine, and I don't know if it's just because there's something where the veil between the alive and the dead are making your taste buds a little bit more open to them going together. But you're right. I don't feel like I had the sugar film on our mouths.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
And I was a little
sugar.
bit worried that it was going to affect the taste of the beer, but it did not. So, Cerveza Modelo es muy bueno. Un fuego on your flavor choices, un fuego on your artwork. Should you do collector's cans? I don't know.
You got the Modelo mask on too.
Yeah, that's what the man of 1,000 Modelos.
Here, let's get a thumbnail real quick. Hold up the cans. Thumbnail time.
Mil Modelo.
Right, there you go. See?
Yeah, because again, if I had to choose, I would choose the dark. If you only knew the power of the dark beer. But yeah, I really
I'd go with the dark too. I think it's
I like it. So I know we need to our emoji. We put a flame emoji, a skull emoji, and then a cheers emoji. Dink. Oh, sorry, I hit the toaster. I guess I don't have to apologize to the toaster.
By the way, never flip your toaster over. You fucking so much shit comes out. I shouldn't
There's a
curse, but
lot of crumbs. Yeah, and sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize to your toaster. I don't know. Did you ever see Did you ever see the movie The Brave Little Toaster?
I love that movie. I
Yes,
used to
I
have the
don't know.
tape.
So I don't know if that's why I apologize to
John
the
Lovett
toaster.
says the radio. That was great.
The Brave Little Toaster. That's a deep cut. But
But
yeah,
seriously, when you flip your toaster over, so much crap comes out.
a
You're
lot of crumbs
shocked.
come out of there.
It's just like, what? I didn't have that much toast, but you realize it's a year's worth of toast.
Yeah, it's a lot of crumbs. Yeah, our production table here is nothing but crumbs from Pop Tarts and toast and lime juice and salt, and now Modelo. But yeah, good job, Modelo. If you're out there watching, if you ever want to send us some more, we'll experiment. We're talking like barbecue sauce with tuna fish. If you want us to experiment, we'll give it a try. We'll give it a try live.
Also, send us some swag and we'll wear it.
Yeah, we will wear it. And yeah, you do have to clean out the tray. But yeah, if you want us to shoot on Bud, we'll shoot on Bud.
I will cut a promo on Bud Light.
Yeah,
that will be like Dusty Roads.
Yeah. Hard times. Are you telling me that all you had available to you was clam juice, Daddy? Clam juice. Yeah, that just did not work. So, but this worked really, really well. So, all right, this kind of got us in the mood for some Halloween movie trivia. Speaking of Day of the Dead, when is the actual Day of the Dead? Is it the?
Let me Google that.
Yeah, let's hit the Google machine because I know there's the celebration, but I just don't know what the actual day is. Is it like the 28th?
I thought it was the day after Halloween. Yeah, it's November 1st.
Oh, it is November 1st.
Yeah.
So really, I mean, I don't know if this was just being a New York thing, but it's just like Hell Night was October 30th, right?
What's Hell Night exactly?
Hell Night is just basically havoc. I think that was Long Island's excuse to activate some kind of like purge light, because that was going to be like, we're going to throw eggs, at people's houses, we're going to TP people's houses.
Does that still go on?
I don't know. I hope not.
Now that I'm on today.
Yeah, I was going to say, now that I'm on the other side of it, I certainly hope it doesn't happen. But yeah, it was a scary night. Like, don't go out the night before Halloween. It was just like crazy.
That's a horror movie. Did you ever write that script?
No, I didn't write it. Long Island just the movie, and it's just like a horror movie. But no. So you got Hell Night, then you got actual Halloween, and you got Day of the Dead. So I think that would be you got a 3-day, almost like a festival, that you can execute all your favorite gimmicks where you want to paint your face, like Thunder Rosa or Penta Cero Miedo.
Is this exactly The Purge? Like, is this where they got the idea?
It might be. It exactly might be. It was a terrifying night to go out because, unfortunately, I remember being in the woods and they're like, what should we do tonight? Should we shoot BBs at cars or should we just throw rocks? And now, as a car owner and a driver, just like, that is terrifying to think that there's kids out there back in the day that were literally contemplating, do we want rocks on your windshield or do you want to shoot BBs on there? That's terrifying, but that was Hell Night.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, I don't know.
And I remember there was basically the town was full of just like everybody playing like Manhunt, where it was just a crazy version of hide and seek.
But you had paintball guns or what?
No, they would capture you and they would carry you and basically, I guess, haze you, for the lack of a better term. The whole wedgies, wet willies, put the boots to you kind of thing. Yeah, it was not. And I grew up, I don't know, I guess we can talk about this. I grew up in a pretty terrifying area of Long Island and it's still, I was there a month ago and it's legit still there. It was an abandoned, insane asylum.
The area you were from?
Well, yeah. So like our block was a crescent like that. And then there was a fence. And then if you hopped over the fence, the politically correct name was the hospital grounds. but it was nothing but all these abandoned buildings that were basically abandoned sections of an insane asylum. And then it was
You
just,
grew up near an insane asylum?
yeah,
I didn't know
but it was
this.
abandoned. But they would always tell, and there was people wandering the streets, and I remember that like, hey, you got to be home before the street lights come on. And I was the chubby kid, truffle shuffle. I couldn't run fast, and my brothers would troll me and be like, "Oh man, I thought I saw somebody hop in the fence. See you at home." And I was like, "No!" And just like tearing ass home. But it was a terrifying place to grow. And that place is, I actually meant to do some research and see if we can get like Zach Bagans there from Ghost Adventures to see if that's like legit, because you heard the story of just like somebody went crazy and murdered a couple of nurses, and it's still abandoned, which is crazy. It's 2021, and
And there's never been, because they've done YouTube ghost hunts on everything.
yeah,
They've never gone to that one?
I don't know. I just like, I was there a month ago, and that's when it hit me back, because I was like, I just thought by now there's something there, and like there was like a Target like across the street from it, but the grounds themselves were still intact. And I remember because it had a building that was a little bit like a triangle, but the triangle was like pointing down. Sorry, Toaster. But yeah. Oh, JJ's right. Yeah, Devil's Night was in The Crow. And I think
Oh,
that
yeah.
was so. But yeah, that's the hospital ground. So maybe we got to do a little bit investigation on that. But
Should
yeah,
we go? Should we investigate it?
I'm down. I'm down to definitely check it out. But yeah, if you want to look it up, I'll give you. I grew up in Central Islip, New York. So if you want to look up hospital grounds or insane asylums in Central Islip, New York, feel free. Just like, yeah, let's check it out. But Zach Bagans, I think he's got the crew. He's been doing it. He's got unfortunately, he's got lung problems from staying because he'd do the lockdowns, and he'd lock in there and basically call the ghosts out. So I don't know if we can probably get him to do it.
He's got that ghost lung.
Yeah, he's got the old ghost lung. But yeah, that was my hospital ground stories, which was terrifying because you're like, nobody's gonna hide there on Devil's Night, right? Not on Hell Night. But yeah, it was pretty scary.
Wow.
Yeah, that was our Damn Muertos story. So let's start. You wanna pivot here? Should we pivot into a podcast gimmick? Well, we can finish off our Modelos. Cheers to Modelos, and we'll pivot and talk about some Halloweens. And we got some specific Halloween movie franchise trivia. So we're gonna test that big brain. Check out the big brain on Brad. We're gonna test your movie brain.
I'm into it. I don't know the Halloween franchise that well.
Yeah,
But,
we'll go over them all, but we'll also do we'll review the film, and then we'll do the questions as well.
All right.
Let's do it. You want to take a break, or you want to jump right in? I'm feeling good. So
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm ready when you are.
Yeah, let's just do the trivia sting. Here we go.
Trivia.
Switching to trivia.
Stinger.
Here's the sting.
It's Sting! That one was for you, Shivani.
All right, so what you got on the trivia?
All right, so I found like 3 or 4. I feel like we would be if you were the girlfriend staying the night at your house, and we're doing the old Cosmo quizzes, like, are this or that? This is just like, how well do you know the Halloween movie trivia? So I'm a fan. Obviously, I will recommend the latest thing we're going to recommend, and we're not getting any money from Netflix because they haven't found us yet, but give them time. The Movies That Made Us dropped 3 horror and if you haven't watched The Toys That Made Us, it's great. I highly suggest the He-Man one, the G.I. Joe one, and the professional wrestling figure one. But they pivoted from The Toys That Made Us to The Movies That Made Us, and they did like Elf, they did Home Alone, they did Ghostbusters. But this month they dropped Friday the 13th, Halloween, and A Nightmare on Elm Street. They dropped all 3, so check
Classics.
those out. Yeah, they're worth checking out. And all I watched is the Halloween because I wanted to prep for this one, and it basically goes into the story of how they got Halloween made. So it's not scary, it's fun. But for you, I found some like 3 different quizzes. So we've got about 30 questions on specific to the Halloween. So if you got so let me give you the ding. You give me the ding if you really want to do this. All right, let's do this. Halloween trivia. Halloween the movie trivia. Here we go. All right. Question number 1. And this is one of those gimmicks that I actually have to click the answer so to know if I'm right or wrong. This one I know because I just watched that documentary. How much did the 1978 Halloween movie cost to make? This was the OG. And I can read these as multiple choice, but I think you're going to get this one anyway.
I don't know offhand. I'm guessing.
I can give you multiple choice.
All right, let's hear off the multiples.
So 300K, 500K, 100K, or 1.2 million.
500K. 300K.
300K is correct. With a budget of only $300,000, the film went on to gross $47 million at the U.S. box office. And we'll get into
one of the biggest hits ever, right?
Yeah, it's basically Because
didn't they? Well, maybe this is a question, right? But didn't John Carpenter just sort of like say he was making a different movie and then made Halloween instead?
I don't know.
They
didn't go into
the producers.
Yeah, they didn't go into that because the producer. I'm gonna give you some spoilers on that documentary, the movies that made us for Halloween. The producer basically was like a guy who was like a warehouse guy that was lugging the film cans that had all the film stock, and he wanted to become a producer. And then he's like, I got all these movies to produce it, and then he produced a movie called The Siege. And do you know?
Seagal.
No, The Siege. This was the '70s Siege, and maybe this is a trivia question. What was the title that was actually used for the film The Siege that was made by John Carpenter? And you know it. And you know it.
Assault on Precinct 13?
Correct. Yes. So give yourself a ding on that. But yeah, he saw The Siege. He loved it. He released it as Assault on Precinct 13. He made that awesome artwork. Didn't do well in the U.S., and then it did bonkers business in the U.K. Bonkers business. And then, like, it started winning film festivals. And then next thing you know, he's like, we need to make another movie. And that's how Halloween was born. So, and then, yeah, they get into the babysitting murders and stuff. But,
right.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Question number 2. What was the original title of Halloween? Was it Michael's Revenge, The Mass Murderer, All Hallows Eve, or The Babysitter Murders?
The Babysitter Murders.
Correct. The events of the original script, titled The Babysitter Murders, took place over several days. The script was changed to have everything happen on the same day to reduce the number of locations and costume changes that kept the film under budget. It was decided that Halloween, the scariest night of the year, was the perfect night and title for the film.
Yeah, how are you going to not have it on Halloween?
Yeah, and remember this
then what would you title it? The days before Halloween, Halloween week?
Yeah. And basically it was pre-VHS, so they had to have that release business, and they released it every year at Halloween. He did like sneaky releases in Kansas City was his first one. Again, I feel like I'm ruining the movies that made us, but I highly suggest it. Because if you watched it, you would know the question to number 3. Who was not approached to play Dr. Sam Loomis? Not approached. Donald Pleasance, Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, or Vincent Price? And I'm going to take a swig for Halloween there to R.I.P. Donald Pleasance. You're the Duke. You're the Duke.
I'm going to say Vincent Price. That seems like a crazy choice.
All right, Leia, let's see. Correct. John Carpenter approached both Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee to play the role of Dr. Sam Loomis, but both turned him down due to low pay. Lee later said it was the biggest mistake he has ever made in his career. Loomis was eventually played by Donald Pleasance, who received $20,000 for 5 days' work. Vincent Price was not involved in the project. $20K.
20K. I mean, he was at the end of his career, kind of. I think that was like his last big hit.
Yeah, and I got to tell you too that a lot of that pay went into red wine. Again, Movies that made us. Check it out. A lot of red wine was consumed by Dr. Sam
Man, I want
Loomis.
to watch that. And I have to work tonight, and I'm upset.
Ah, man, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna watch the Friday the 13th tonight. All right. Who inspired the character of Michael Myers? Was it Ron Howard, Alfred Hitchcock, Carpenter's son, or a psychiatric patient? I don't know the answer to this one, so I won't know till you do it.
That was psychiatric patient.
It is? Yeah. Carpenter's inspiration for the evil that Michael embodied came from a visit he had taken during college to a psychiatric institution in Kentucky, not in Central Islip. Check it out. One of the psychiatric patients was an adolescent boy who possessed a blank schizophrenic stare. Carpenter experience inspired the characterization of Loomis that gave of Michael to Sheriff Brackett in the film. I met this 6-year-old child with a blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I realized what lived behind the boy's eyes were purely and simply evil. Which I noticed in the new movie, they really wanted to make Michael Myers one of the. We saw it on The Last Drive, and they wanted to make him more like Jaws. Like you could, if you get in the way, you're gonna get bit. And I feel like this movie really drove that home.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. I'm saving for the review, but he just kills a bunch of innocent people. People weren't even. They were in a different movie. People who were in a completely different movie.
Oh my God, sorry I missed it. I missed Renato's original title of the sequel was Halloween 2 Back in the Habit. Sorry, I had to go back and read that that old one, but that was awesome. Because I feel like everybody, when you're naming a subtitle for a sequel, everybody leans into Electric Boogaloo. But good job on Back in the Habit. Well done. Well done. All right, here we go. Question number 5. How many different people are believed to have portrayed Michael in the 1978 film? Was it 5, 3, 7, or 9?
I thought it was
5,
just
3, 7, or 9.
I thought it was Nick Castle the whole time. I didn't realize there was more people portraying.
No, again, movies that made us. Oh man, I feel like I did homework.
I need to phone a friend.
Yeah.
Siri, how many people played Michael Myers in Halloween 1?
I think you get it. 5, 3, 7, or 9. Obviously, if you want to eliminate
3.
2.
I'm going to go with 3.
Yeah, you're right. 3. Oh, no, it just said wrong.
Oh.
How's that wrong? No, 5 is... Oh, it's 7 people.
Wow.
7 people portrayed Michael at different stages of filming. It is Deborah Hill's hands. Oh, they're counting hands. Deborah Hill's hands we see as young Michael. Will Sadden plays Michael Myers at age 6. Tony Moran's face that is revealed when Laurie lifts Michael's mask. And although Nick Castle was only on set to hang out with his friend John Carpenter, he wears the mask for most of the filming. Production designer Tommy Lee Wallace portrays Michael in the closet scene. Stuntman James Winburn portrays him as he falls out of the window, and a dog trainer plays him when he kills the Wallace family dog.
Well, there you go. That's a lot of movie trivia. That's 5 facts.
Yeah, that's a lot. Oh, and JJ has a bonus question. How many people have been rumored to have played the Ultimate Warrior? Well, I got to wrestle one of the fake ones, but yeah. I don't know what...
You wrestled Ultimate Warrior 2000, right?
Yeah, he was 2K. That was like Scott Putski when he was Conan 2000. But I had to say at least there was 3 Ultimate Warrior rumors, right? It had to be at least 3.
I mean, are we talking about in WWE 3 people played him?
No, it was always just one in WWE, straight up. Now, Doink, there was like 3 Doinks. But I wrestled Doink number 3, which was legendary journeyman Dusty Wolf. But the original Doink was Matt Bourne, and then later on Steve Lombardi was a Doink. And then I think the guy who was Demolition Smash, not Bill Eadie, was the other. There was a lot of Doinks. But yeah, the Warrior, there was a lot of rumors between him and Ultimate and Undertaker. But we only have the one official Undertaker under Faker. All right, let's jump to the next one. What mask? Oh, yeah, you got this one.
Hey, I think there's another Modelo in there if you want to.
You want another Modelo?
I kind of want another one.
You want another one?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me slip into intern mode and then grab you Modelo. And then You're gonna get this next one.
All right.
But I can
You
tell
want
you.
to save it? You want to save it till?
Yeah, we'll save it. It has something to do with the mask.
All right, real quick.
Internment, murd, activate.
I'll run the sting again.
All right, let's do it.
And it loops, so there's no awkward silence. Is there not? Just grab one of the stash. Just grab whichever one. Huh?
A special or chilada?
Just grab the special, yeah. They got the other Day of the Dead one? Yeah. Sorry, technical difficulties, folks.
Please stand beer. Stand by.
All right. Sorry for interrupting the show. We need a better system, probably. Modelo, send us a cooler.
Yes.
Modelo, send us a cooler that we can have right next to the
Right
desk.
next to us. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand beer. By. All right. Let's see. Well, you crack a beer. We got our question, and you know this one, and it explains how it happens in the movies that made us. What mask does... Oh, this is kind of a swerve, but we're going to go with it. What mask does Michael wear? A clown? Neil Armstrong? I don't know why that was not the best Neil Armstrong from Robert.
That's when he was on the moon. That's what he sounded like.
Yeah, they did sound like. I was trying to do the Robert Downey.
One small step for man,
brother. Yeah, that was definitely not in the Ben Stiller flick when Robert Downey did it. Anyway, a clown, Neil Armstrong, Captain Kirk, or Luke Skywalker.
I feel like this is common knowledge. It's Captain Kirk.
Correct. But I thought it was a swerve because he wore a clown mask when he was a kid. But that was the swerve. But the trademark mask worn by Michael Myers through the film was actually a Captain Kirk mask, painted white with the eye holes widened.
The thing is, they were going to do a clown, but they couldn't find a decent one at the store.
Yeah.
And someone said, look at this Shatner mask. This is hilarious.
Yeah, and then they show the actual transformation of the Michael Myers mask in that documentary that I'm going to convince you to watch instead of doing more.
I'm going to watch it. I didn't know it existed until an hour ago. So
yeah, I didn't either. But I meant I'm going to convince you that instead of working, which is probably not the right thing. All right, here we go. What time frame? Oh, sorry. What time signature is the Halloween theme written in? 9/8, 12/16, 5/4, or 6/2?
5/4.
Yeah, the Halloween theme is written in a 5/4 time signature. Director John Carpenter composed a simple, chilling music as it was the first thing his father taught him how to play on the piano. That's great. And actually, that was one of my very first ringtones was that dun 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 before when it was still sounded like a MIDI keyboard.
Mine was taking care of business.
Also a good one. But yeah, would you argue that, Halloween, a huge part of the success was his score?
Yeah, I don't think the movie works without the score.
Yeah, that's what, and they get into that in that documentary. It's just like very much like Jaws. When you add that music to it, it was like it brought it to a whole nother level. Like it was a good movie, but he said if it wasn't for the score and we called it The Babysitter Murders, we wouldn't be sitting here right now. It would have been like, oh yeah, that was a good movie, not something that people watch every year.
The score is like a character in that movie.
Absolutely.
In a lot of John Carpenter movies, but that one especially, I think the score is really driving the tension for the whole way.
Yeah, I agree, and it's fantastic. And again, we got a plug. We saw him live in Austin, and if you ever get a chance, I don't know if he's traveling to do it anymore, but I'm so glad you told me about that show.
Well, he just put out the Halloween Kills record, so.
Oh man, it was so good to see that live. It was incredible.
It was the coolest thing. He was up there with sunglasses on, in black sweatpants, a black T-shirt, and just like hitting one or two keys at a time. It's like bow, 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 bow. And just
Man.
He looked like he was having a great time.
With the screen behind him.
Yeah.
But yeah, they explained again in this documentary that I'm going to keep referring to. They talk about how he got his start in music and then how he pivoted to the film business. But he was a rock star. He was
Yeah.
basically a rock star.
Yeah.
And it could be argued that he's still a rock star. All right, this is going
He's
to be a
got
tough
the
one.
rock star mentality for sure.
He definitely does. By 2018, how many Halloween films have been made? 15, 6, 9, or 11? It's
9.
9? I had for our podcast gimmick later, I had that open. So let's see. 9 is incorrect. By 2018, 16, 11, or 15 are the ones left. No, 6.
11.
Correct. Between 1978 and 2018, the Halloween franchise has produced a total of 11 films.
So
Now-
let's name them. Halloween 1,
Yeah, I'll name them just because.
Halloween 2,
Correct.
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Correct.
Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers.
Correct.
Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers.
Correct.
Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers.
Correct.
Halloween 7,
This is a big
Halloween
jump.
7.
This is a big jump.
Is that the H2O one?
Correct. Halloween HGO
Halloween
20
H2O
years later.
Resurrection.
No, that's a separate one.
No, Halloween Resurrection was after that.
Correct.
That was the one with Busta Rhymes.
Yep, that was the direct sequel.
And then we got Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yep.
Then Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Correct.
And then we got the new Halloween.
Correct. And then we have and then Halloween, and then the new Halloween, Danny McBride's version. Then we got Halloween Kills that just came out this weekend, and then we're finishing it off with Halloween Ends on October 14th, 2022. Hey, you pulled a lot of. I mean that Paul Rudd trilogy was a tough one to dig in, but
Well,
you
he
did.
was just in one of them, I think, right?
I think so. But yeah, who did you prefer, Paul Rudd's Tommy Doyle or buff, freaking crazy looking Anthony Michael Hall's Tommy Doyle?
That was a pretty big leap because, Rudd played it kind of, well, he's the nice guy, so.
Yeah.
I think Michael Hall's like he's big.
Like, yeah, he's a big dude, like a legit psycho, like hanging out in a bar, ready to grab a bat and walk out and take Michael Myers to town. Take him to task. So,
David Gordon Green's a great director, though. Have you seen that movie he did called Joe?
No.
It's got Nicolas Cage. They shot it here in town.
Oh, no, I didn't see it. I mean, he was great. Yeah, he was really well spoken on the last drive-in. But yeah, I'm a fan. I mean, I feel like he did a good job. It's still hard to believe that it's come from the minds of Eastbound and Down comes a new tale in terror with Halloween. But he did it. I mean, they did it well, man.
I think comedy and horror go kind of hand in hand. You have
Yeah.
to be, if you can do one, you can probably do the other.
Did he do this before Jordan Peele made the leap into horror or after? Because
Get Out was a while ago, yeah. I think.
okay, so he was first
yeah.
before he did that. All right. And then you have Chris Rock writing a Saw movie, but this is the world we live in. All right, next question. Why can't Michael be killed? He's just lucky? He's a god? An ancient druid curse? Or he's a ghost?
Well, I think that this is open to interpretation.
It is, yeah.
Because I think if you're subscribing to the timeline of like 4, 5, and 6, it's some sort of cult thing, and
Right.
I think he's some sort of god, right? Or some sort of he's some sort of god, demon, ghost, spirit.
Yeah.
thing.
Let's see, because I definitely, I subscribe to the he's pure evil, but let's try he's a god. It's not he's a god, and he's not lucky. All right, if you subscribe to what we are calling the Paul Rudd trilogy, in Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, it's finally revealed that Michael is a victim of an ancient druid curse which explains his inhuman strength and resiliency. Each child chosen to bear the curse of Thorn must sacrifice their next of kin on the night of Samhain. So, yeah, I'll give you that one. But
Yeah.
that's one, yeah, I remember it was a big deal when they showed somebody walking up in boots to like save him. And I don't know if that's they might have gotten into shark jumping territory when they pulled that one off.
I don't think so. That was like 6 movies ago.
Yeah, yeah. They re-jumped and they unjumped and then re-jumped and then unjumped because I loved Rob Zombie. I was okay with Rob Zombie's first one. It's the
The
second one.
second one's pretty out there.
Yeah, it's pretty shaky. So he did release his picture of the Munsters today for in honor of Halloween.
Yeah, I saw that. He's doing it really sort of true to the original look.
Yeah, it was like right on the money. I know people were complaining that his wife is playing Lily, but I mean she looked good. So
Well, who else is going to play her?
yeah, I got no problems with that.
He likes to cast lesser known actors anyway.
Yeah,
Or like across the board.
I think it would be totally fun. I'm totally okay.
Plus, they're in costume the whole time. Wait, is it going to be a kids movie?
I don't know. A Rob Zombie kids movie sounds bizarre, but I mean,
I bet he would hit that out of the park. Would be his hugest hit if he made a kids movie.
yeah, I'd be curious to see it. I do want to buy one of Eddie Munster's little Wolfman dolls. I was always a mark for those. All right, question number 10. What is the name of the reality TV show in Halloween Resurrection that invites guests to spend the night in Michael's childhood home? Oh, I remember.
Is it Dangertainment?
Correct. In Halloween Resurrection, college students win a competition to appear on the internet reality show Dangertainment and spend the night in Michael's now abandoned childhood home. And we'll talk a little bit more about this later, but I can just tell you, when I say Big John, you say
Lil Jon.
that's right. That was spoiler alert. That was the funniest part, accidental funniest part of that Halloween Kills was Big John and Little John. And one of the funniest reviews that I saw is just like, say what you want about this movie, but Big John and Little John did a great job at redecorating Michael Myers' childhood home. All right. I think you got this one. Here's a slam dunk for you. What is the killer called in the script and credits for Halloween?
The Shape.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, I'm not even going to read the other ones. They had The Mask, The Shadow, and Michael Myers. In John Carpenter, Deborah Hill's script, as well as the closing credits, the killer is referred to as The Shape. John Carpenter's description of the character: he wasn't human and he wasn't supernatural. He was somewhere in between. He was The Shape. He could be anywhere at night. He could be in the shadows. He'd watch you. And even though he moved like a human being, there's something about him different. And they get a little bit into that I didn't know that Deborah Hill really did write a big chunk, the majority of that script, and then John Carpenter kind of went in and massaged it.
Yeah, she was a huge part of that.
Yeah.
Huge part of his early film career.
So yeah, and they definitely, she got all the credit for that in that documentary that I probably like the 20th time I brought it up.
It's funny how in the
quiz.
script he's called The Shape and is super mysterious, but he's just in the movie it's a guy in overalls.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not. Yeah, because he kind of looked like somebody from the Partridge Family when she took his mask off, and then in the 1978 one, and then spoiler alert, when he takes mask off on this one, he has what my son calls the Keith cut, when he's just like the male pattern baldness thing going on. I thought that was a little weird, but whatever, it worked. I enjoyed it.
Well, he's old in the new one.
Yeah, he's
He's like
definitely
in his 50s.
he still ages. All right, question number 10. How long did it take John Carpenter and Deborah Hill to write the screenplay for the original Halloween? 10 months, 10 hours, 10 days, or 10 weeks?
What are the options again?
They're all 10, but it's either months, hours, days, or weeks.
10 days.
Correct. It took John Carpenter and Hill approximately 10 days to write the script. Hill wrote most of the female characters' dialogue, while Carpenter drafted Loomis's speeches of the soullessness of Michael Myers. But yeah, I always heard about the Donald Pleasance, like we only had 5 days and he didn't really want to be there, and they kind of get into that in the documentary but they made the most of it, and obviously, Christopher Lee's like, that was the biggest mistake I've ever made, not playing that character. But I think Donald Pleasance played it really well, and hats off to the de-aging or CGI version of Loomis in this movie for the flashbacks. Great job. I mean, could you even tell?
It was pretty flawless, I thought.
I thought it was really flawless.
The way they sort of like what would you call it? They sort of like recouped. Basically they eliminated the original part 2.
Yeah.
By shooting an additional scene of part 1.
Yeah,
which
that's exactly
it
what
blends
happened.
in flawlessly.
Yeah, That's exactly it. I mean, it takes place after what you didn't expect, but like the de-aging of like I thought the de-aging of our RDJ and Avengers, or even Kurt Russell, or Michael Douglas in the Avengers movies, but this one by far blew them all away. I mean, the Peter Cushing and Carrie Fisher and Star Wars can't stand up to this. I thought they did a great job of recreating him for that stuff. And I don't even want to bring up, which I liked Doctor Sleep, but they ended up just like recasting, Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall, where they should have did this. They should
Yeah.
have got the same people who did this and just like recreated him, because these guys did a flawless job of creating a Dr. Loomis. What's up, Podcat?
Podcasts here.
All right. Good timing, Podcat, for your favorite number 13. I don't know if that's really your favorite number, but it is now. Michael Myers is the antagonist in all of the Halloween movies except which one? I'm not going to even read it because you know it.
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Dun 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 3 more days to Halloween, Halloween. John Carpenter and Deborah Hill believed that the Halloween series had the potential to be an anthology series of films centered around the night of Halloween, with each sequel containing its own character, setting, and storyline. Halloween 3 Season of the Witch was meant to be the first of the series and did not feature Michael Myers. But we did get a Halloween 3 Season of the Witch Easter egg in Halloween Kills.
The masks, right?
Yeah, the masks were all in there. The witch, the pumpkin, and the skeleton were all in there like original. So hats off.
You like Halloween 3, right?
Oh yeah,
I love Halloween 3.
yeah.
I think it's great.
I think it's real. I think
Maybe they should have called it Season of the Witch and just
and
dropped
just
Halloween.
be done with it. It really aged well, and I like that it's somehow part of this franchise, and I like that they almost acknowledged it.
It's one of the best scores.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The score was really good too, and the artwork with the stretched witch, like walking with the silhouette in that orange sky. I thought that was really good. I was pretty happy with Season of the Witch, even back in the day.
One thing I've noticed as I've gotten older, as a kid watching John Carpenter movies, they always seemed scarier than they actually were.
Yeah.
Because his movies, in a way, he's kind of an action filmmaker,
Oh man.
But
yeah.
like the way that the aesthetics of his horror films make him seem really scary.
I'm going to tell you for the 25th time about this documentary on Netflix that actually you hear an interview with him on like what his type of genre is, and horror wasn't in there, and it was mostly action. But yeah, I mean, you think about like They Live. I mean, that it was just like it had that undertone of like terror to it, but like not an actual traditional horror movie.
Can we just stop for a minute and recognize how influential Big Trouble in Little China was? And it's a huge flop. But basically, that's Mortal Kombat right there.
You're right.
That's the inspiration for Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah, because they have basically, yeah, Lord Raiden was in that with the hat and the electricity coming from the fingers. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, I had no heat with that movie. I bought that awesome piece of artwork that was Big Trouble in Little China. And now the only thing I'm not sure about is the remake that is being discussed with The Rock as Jack Burton. I don't know.
I don't think that'll. I mean, number one, I think remakes are over. I don't
Yeah,
think
they have
remakes
to
are going to
stop.
happen. Now it's just reboots. Reboot sequels is the new thing.
Yeah.
Reboot the sequel, which is good. Go with that.
Acknowledge the first
I'd be
one
good with
and
that.
then have a new generation. Because yeah, you're right, dude. Think about this. Just like we got Chucky, we got Halloween. Is there one? Are they doing one with Phantasm right now? I feel like,
Phantasm has not rebooted. They're still in the same.
but I feel like there was a one that's like coming out, and then they did Sleepaway
they're doing
Camp.
Hellraiser right now.
Hellraiser, that was it. Sorry, not Phantasm. Hellraiser.
They
that
just did Candyman, which is
Candyman.
also a reboot sequel.
yeah, that's just stick with that.
Did you see it?
No, I did not see it yet.
Are you gonna watch it?
Eventually, yeah,
right.
I'm gonna watch it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm behind on
You want
content.
me to give you the spoiler ending, or are you gonna wait?
Go ahead. Yeah,
I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah, I
watch
don't know, because I really have to rewatch the first one too, that it fell into that '90s horror hole that I didn't really feel like I jumped into it. But yeah, if you want to give like a TLDR of it, or fine, that's fine.
Well, I'm just saying, like, this will not necessarily take away from your enjoyment of the film, but I thought it was an interesting finish. Was that at the end? It's Tony Todd, and he's back.
Okay, yeah, and I kind of assumed he was going to do that. I mean, because he was rumored to be in there, and I like the character. I like the actors that they booked in to that role. But you knew Tony Todd had to at least come back, and he's still around.
It was cool.
There's no reason for him not to do it. Absolutely. Tony Todd was a big friend of our RIP friend, Bobby Zadar. Jeffrey, we got to get Tony Todd. He's great. Got to get Tony Todd and Michael Berryman. I love that like all these horror icons that were like actual friends in real life.
I know, right?
That felt very like they had a club there. All right, here's another ground ball for you. Who wrote and directed the Halloween remake in 2007?
Robert Zombie.
Robert Zombie, yes, wrote, directed, and produced the 2000 remake reimagining of Halloween, which is the 9th installment. In 2009, he released his version of Halloween 2. All right. Who did Laurie kill at the end of Halloween H2O 20 years later? Her son, a paramedic, Michael Myers, or Dr. Loomis?
Michael Myers, right?
No, it was not. She killed somebody, though. I don't remember. Not Dr. Loomis. At the end of Halloween H2O 20 years later, Laurie decapitates Michael, finally killing him, or so she thinks. By the next film, Halloween Resurrection reveals that Michael had swapped clothes with the paramedic, put the mask on him, crushed his larynx so he couldn't talk, and left him for Laurie to kill.
Clever.
Clever girl. I did not know that either. All right. Next question. We are on 17, and this is just the first. I thought these would go slower, faster, but we're still on. This is 16. According to Deborah Hill, co-writer of the original Halloween, the idea behind the film was that you couldn't kill what? You couldn't kill hate, superstition, ghost, or evil?
Evil.
Yeah, correct. The idea was that you couldn't kill evil, and that's was how we came about the story. We went back to the old idea of Sam Hain. The Halloween was the night where all the souls are let out to wreak havoc on the living, then came up with the story about the most evil kid who ever lived. And when John came up with the fable of a town with the dark secret of someone who once lived there, and now that evil has come back, that's what made Halloween work.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
yeah, this is another ground ball. But it's pretty funny, their selections. Who played Tommy Doyle in Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers? Jason Priestley, Christian Slater, Jason Bateman, or Paul Rudd?
Paul Rudd.
The ageless Paul Rudd in the second feature. It's his second film role ever, portraying Tommy Doyle. The little boy Laurie Strode babysat in 78. The movie follows Tommy, who is now a recluse and is obsessed with finding the truth behind Myers' motives.
I think he has a podcast as well.
Yeah, he might. He did. Oh, yeah, he did have a podcast in there. That's right. I remember him talking to a mic where Anthony Michael Hall as Tommy Doyle just had a baseball bat hanging out in an Irish pub.
Yeah.
Said, toast to you, Laurie. We're going to get him someday when he comes back. All right. Number 18. In Rob Zombie's remakes, what character does his wife, Sherry Moon Zombie, play?
Michael Myers' mother.
Correct. Sherry Moon Zombie portrays Michael's mom, Deborah, who commits suicide out of guilt for Michael's actions. She resumes her role in Halloween 2, appearing in visions that Michael and Laurie share, which had like a white horse or some shit. I just remember a horse.
I remember the white horse, yeah.
All right, we're getting into modern day territory. Halloween 2018 is a direct sequel to which Halloween film? The Curse of Michael Myers, H2O, Halloween 2, or Halloween?
The one from 2018?
Yeah.
Is a direct sequel, I believe, to the original.
Correct. It's the 11th installment in the franchise and a direct sequel. The plot follows Laurie Strode. 40. This studio is now a no-talking zone. The plot follows Laurie Strode 40 years after surviving Michael's original killing spree. All right. Oh, this is a twist. Who arranged for Michael's escape in Halloween 2018? Was it Sheriff Barker, Tommy Doyle, Laurie Strode, or Dr. Sartain?
Dr. Sartain.
Yeah, he was a dick. Dr. Rambert Sartain, Michael's psychiatrist and San Loomis's former student, revealed that he arranged for Michael's escape.
Town. 15 years ago.
To study him in the wild.
This is a trailer, by the way. Oh, we don't get kicked off the internet, but
Yeah, if you told him, I can't have to keep listening. That's so good.
Michael?
Halloween.
I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply
How drunk is he here?
evil.
Pretty drunk. It was red wine.
I think he'll come back.
What's wild is how Michael was able to drive, having never driven a car before,
Yeah.
being in an institution the whole time.
Yeah, he always comes back.
Halloween.
He always comes back.
How about a round of applause for PJ Souls? All the dorky guys with glasses in this movie.
Yeah.
Come on out.
Man, that music just makes it, the jump scares are just like next level.
Yeah.
That music helps.
And you know, the mask is like an emotionless face, you know, not like a wacky clown. It just has you can't interpret it at all.
I think that's what actually helped. This has the slow walking zombie effect, right? This is when it was just like that music and she just wasn't getting in and he was just slow walking. I think it had that Jaws feel.
Can you imagine? This probably looks really boring without the music. He's just walking at a medium pace while she's running and screaming.
Hats off to Adam Sandler's song at a medium pace. Man, that was so good.
It's a good movie.
All right, we got we got 4 more.
All right, let's do the final 4.
Final 4. What job does Laurie Strode have in Halloween H2O 20 years later? Is she a waitress, headmistress, actress, or psychiatrist?
In H2O?
Yeah. Headmistress, actress, psychiatrist, or waitress?
I thought she was a mental patient in the Halloween H2O.
I don't know. No, I think was that Resurrection?
Oh, that's at the end of Resurrection.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say, what's the options again?
Waitress, headmistress, actress, or psychiatrist? We know in 2018 she's survivalist.
Headmistress.
Correct. A direct sequel to the first 2 films, H2O 20 years later follows a post-traumatic Laurie Strode who has faked her death and is living under a assumed name working as headmistress at a private boarding school. So they attempted this before with H2O of just like, okay, we're just going to count the 2 sequels and that's it.
Yeah, that was hot on the trails of Scream and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, when they started remaking all the slasher films, that one came back.
Yeah.
I didn't even think it was written by the guy who wrote Scream.
Dawson Creek.
Yeah, the Dawson's Creek guy.
Yeah, and which is also coming back in
Dawson's
January.
Creek is coming back?
No, Scream is coming back.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Although I'd like to see a crossover. Dawson's Creek, assemble. Let's do it. All right, 22. Which Halloween film has the lowest grossing box office revenue of the franchise? Revenge, Resurrection, Season of the Witch, or Halloween 2007?
Resurrection.
Bring back Dawson's Creek, you cowards!
For real, bring it back. We need it back. If you're rebooting stuff anyway, reboot that.
Bring it back. I don't want to wait for my life to be over. Should it be yes or will it be sorry? Do-do-do-do-do. All right.
We want to see that episode where Dawson was on coke. And we want to see the episode where Pacey has a drinking problem. We want to see the episode where Joey cheats on Pacey.
Oh, my God.
But they probably didn't end up together. That was just the finale, maybe.
Yeah. I feel like that was the water cooler show after Melrose Place, right? Dawson's Creek?
It was one of those shows, because of the dialogue. They didn't used to write dialogue like that.
No, yeah, it was good, man. He was Kevin Williamson. Yeah, he was a dialogue master. I mean, and that's a lot of the reason why it worked. Renato's going to demand a remake of the OC. This is how we do it. Welcome to the OC.
Remake the OC, but as one film, just one full length feature, however long it has to be, like how many hours. But
Yeah.
just one movie,
And
like a Snyder cut length movie.
it's the OC, the Snyder Cut. Oh man. All right, we got another one. Oh yeah, what did you say with the lowest grossing one? Season of the Witch, Revenge,
Resurrection.
Resurrection. No,
No.
no, not Resurrection.
What's the other options?
Revenge, Season of the Witch, or Halloween 2007.
Season of the Witch.
No, not Season of the Witch. Wow.
What's
No.
the last two choices?
Revenge of Michael Myers and Halloween 2007.
Halloween 2007.
No, it's Revenge. With a budget of $5 million, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers had the lowest box office revenue of $11.6 million. Interesting. I mean, it still made a profit, just not as much. All right. In how many movies does Jamie Lee Curtis play Laurie Strode? Strode.
Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween H2O.
Also, Ryan should be Mexican, pretty white.
And Halloween remake.
Yeah, so it's 1, 4, 3, or 7.
4.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah, Curtis plays the role of Laurie Strode in 4. Halloween, Halloween 2, H2O, and
Get
Halloween.
the hell out of here if you're going to talk.
Yes. Yeah, and there's 2 more. Obviously, they're not counting the ones. This is a quiz from 2018. So she does, it's going to be 6. Oh, is that a spoiler? All right, last one. What musician was not involved in a Halloween movie? Marilyn Manson, Busta Rhymes, Rob Zombie, or LL Cool J?
Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson? Correct. LL plays security guard Ronnie in H2O. Busta Rhymes is Freddie Harris in Resurrection. Rob Zombie wrote and directed 2007 and 2009 Halloween. Marilyn Manson has not yet been attached to any franchise project, and then they quoted and put in bold, yet. But I think he got canceled recently, right? So I don't think he's going to be in
Who
Halloween.
did?
Didn't
Marilyn
Marilyn?
Manson.
I feel like he got canceled for something.
I think, yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know.
I think, yeah, Columbine or something.
Yeah, he got. Well, I remember he was the only one that had like an answer in the Columbine that he's just like, I wouldn't say nothing, I'd listen, but something happened. Yeah. Renato and JJ both confirmed he's definitely canceled. Oh, he's a woman beater. Yeah,
Here's a side
he's
story
canceled.
to swear away from the women meeting.
He's canceled.
Was LL Cool J. You know, I actually own a jacket that used to belong to LL Cool J.
Oh, really?
I do. I'll tell you how I got it later, but
Oh man, no, I feel like you should tell us.
I just got it from a guy.
Just because, how'd you get it? I just got it from a guy. That's a great jacket to get. Oh,
I got
man.
a celebrity jacket guy.
Yeah, they you suspected that Mario robbed LL. Ladies love Cool J, but Mario robs Cool J. Oh my God, I didn't know. Yeah, Renato confirmed they may have even been underaged, which is, that sucks. Glad he's canceled. I don't know. Sometimes you're like, oh, don't cancel, but sometimes people need to be canceled.
Yeah, like
So-
Happy Days, man. Eventually.
Yeah, eventually you got to get canceled. But yeah, those were good. That was 25 questions that we went through. Now we have other quizzes, but I don't know if you want to jump into the movie. There's a couple. I don't know how many are in this quiz.
Let's take a quick break, huh?
All right, yeah, let's
quick
take a
break.
quick break, and then we will come back with more Halloween goodness. Maybe you're drink another Modelo.
Why not? All right,
Yes.
let's be right back.
BRB. Spooky. Dig it.
What do you think of these dogs wearing costumes?
I like it. I think dogs wearing costumes is always going to be a big hit. I think it's always going to be a huge hit. I just know, like, you ever try to put a costume on a dog, it doesn't end well.
Yeah, I don't think they're into
Yeah,
it.
they're never.
Dogs
into
aren't into Halloween. I don't
Cats
think in
are
general.
even less into Halloween for sure. But it's a great season, man. I love like Halloween. This is just like every weekend you watch horror films or horror TV shows. Just like starting in November, you're gonna pivot to the holiday movies, right? Like
Well, once
Lethal
once
Weapon and Die
AMC
Hard.
Fright Fest starts, then it really starts to feel like Halloween. And it got cold finally, or cool, this last week.
Yeah, fallish.
And I love AMC Fright Fest because there's something about having the commercials in the movie that
Gives you
I
a
just
break.
I can't. I know like folks aren't into that, and it's probably gonna go away. But I guess maybe growing up, I was used to the commercials, and it gives you a break to do something. And I don't know, it just, especially around Halloween, you see the Halloween ads coming through.
Oh yeah, no. I remember a couple of years ago, Fright Fest had a great commercial just for it. Basically was they had a sizzle reel for all the best horror films that you grew up watching. So like Cujo, like Renato says, his dogs are always Cujo for Halloween.
And then Fright Fest always has like the worst movies of the series.
Yeah.
They've got like Halloween 4, 5, and 6,
Yes.
and Final Destination 3 and 5.
Was 3 bad? I remember if 3 was bad.
I don't remember
Final
if 3 was.
Final Destination.
I'm just
3.
like kind of naming them at random. I know 2 was awesome.
Yeah, 2 was great. 2 was the log through the windshield. And
I
then
want to
one-
say 3 was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I want to say I thought 3 was good. I don't even know how many they're up to. Like, where did they leave off? I feel like that's coming back too. Which is
Well, they left off at that one where it turned out that it was actually 2001.
Oh, really?
There was a major twist in it, and at the end, it turned out that it was actually a prequel. And if you go back and
Oh.
watch it, there's all these clues. They have like weird phones, and they're wearing kind of like oldish clothes, but it turned out it was actually a prequel.
Oh, wow. Oh, that is right. Yeah, confirmed. Yeah, I definitely want to see that. I haven't seen it in a while. I like it. I feel like that's gonna come back around soon. Like, I feel like it's a Final Destination 20 years later. Because that was another Tony Todd, right? Wasn't he like the Crypt Keeper bird in
Yeah,
there?
he's the Final Destination guy.
Yeah, he's the one that actually, but that's the one that really kind of got into the crossover between like the simmering horror movie versus just like the uh, Dumb Ways to Die app.
I feel like there's something that just came out that is exactly like Final Destination, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very possible.
So, but like Halloween, the original Halloween, I think is the one. I think it's the main Halloween movie. I get because it's called Halloween, I guess. But
Yeah.
I think that's one of the ones everyone always thinks about.
By design. I mean, it's the perennial that you're gonna watch that. If you're gonna watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, by Rankin Bass every holiday season, you're gonna watch Halloween every Halloween season. Absolutely. You want to go through them each one by one here? Do a little podcast gimmick.
All right, yeah, let's do a quick.
Let's do a quick podcast gimmick before we call it a night. Quick podcast gimmick.
So all the Halloween movies here,
Yes.
synopsised and reviewed.
Yes. So we will start off with the OG Halloween. Well, we were because basically that quiz really just hit mostly on Halloween, which was released October 25th, 1978, and it was directed by John Carpenter, and the screenwriter was Carpenter and Deborah Hill. And yeah, I can't say enough that this movie just was like the ultimate slasher that really inspired more slasher movies to come.
What sort of started the whole genre?
Right? Yeah, I agree. It's just like because Friday the 13th wasn't until 1980, the first one, right?
That's right.
And would you call Texas Chainsaw Massacre slasher? I mean, that was more of just like the Last House on the Left kind of vibe that it had going on.
Yeah, it had more of a 70s vibe.
Yeah, that I would put
Sort
that
of a
into,
survivalist movie kind of thing.
yeah, I wouldn't put that in the slasher, even though Leatherface is on that what we always call the what you can call it, the Mount Rushmore of horror slashers. I think Leatherface we always put up there, whereas he's on that rotating fourth. But yeah, John and again John Carpenter's music. I mean, he really and it talked about again in the documentary I mentioned a million times already. It's just like it gave so many people a career and it created an entire genre.
Yeah.
But then we jump, they were showing it annually, and then they jumped in October 30th, 1981. They made an official sequel, Halloween 2, that takes place, I guess that's later that night, because she's in the hospital, right?
Yeah, I heard John Carpenter didn't want to make this movie, and he actually wrote it in one night.
Yeah, and because him and Deborah Hill looked like they both get writing credit for part 2 as well. But I don't know. This was one of the ones, like, I know people have a lot of throwaway sequels, but I'm with Joe Bob Briggs. I don't think this was a bad sequel. I think that they did a really good job as far as, like, connecting it to the first one and just making it still feel fresh. Like, it didn't feel like they were going back to the well.
Well, it's got the John Carpenter DNA in it. That's because he wrote it, it's got his score, and it's got, he's on it. He was on the show. So I think that one remains part of the John Carpenter, what do you got? Videography.
Yeah, and they had the great artwork, and he still had the music. But yeah, you're right. It looks like here it was just like he was reluctant to, so he gave the directing rights over because he wasn't sure.
Was it Tommy Lee Wallace? No.
No, Tommy Lee Wallace was in that documentary in 3. This was Rick Rosenthal.
Twist. He also directed Halloween Resurrection, I believe.
Correct. Yes, that is correct. He is the director of Halloween Resurrection in 2002. They went back to the well. What was the ending? Because it looks like Halloween 2, they had a cliffhanger ending, right?
No, I think he gets blown up.
Let's see. Loomis and Laurie run into an operating room where he gives her the marshal's gun before being stabbed by Michael. Laurie shoots Michael in both eyes, blinding him. As he staggers around trying to find them, the two fill the room with flammable gas. Loomis orders Laurie to run before igniting the gas, emulting himself and Michael in an explosion. Laurie watches as Michael, engulfed in flames, emerges from the fire before finally collapsing. The next morning, she's transferred to another hospital, traumatized but alive. Okay, yeah, so I guess that they try to make that a clean-cut ending, that he was done and he was dead because he kind of got burned alive, and they had
I don't think John Carpenter wanted to do anymore.
They had the Monster Squad moment, where Van Helsing gave the thumbs up, and that was Loomis giving Laurie the thumbs up that it's okay that you just sucked us into a fiery void.
That movie starts off kind of weird, though. There's a part, the part where it sort of picks up from the end of Halloween 1.
Yes.
And Loomis is like running down the street in that neighborhood, and he's like, "Call the police, call everyone, call everyone." And then the guy's like, the guy comes out and says something, and he's like, "What happened? Did somebody die?" And Loomis is like, "You don't know what death is." And the music starts right there, and it's not a great line. It's not clever, or it doesn't. You don't even know what it means, but
yeah,
it sort of kicks off. Let's see if I can find that real quick.
Yeah, he was just annoyed. He's just like, "You don't know what death is."
He was annoyed.
Yes, he was annoyed. But he made a few appearances, and we'll go through these there. But yeah,
we need a Google intern.
We do. All right, we have Halloween 2. So next up, we had Halloween 3.
Tell the sheriff I shot him. Tell him he's still on the loose.
Is this some kind of joke? I've been trick-or-treated to death tonight.
You don't know what death is.
And they added something to this video. It's like guys cheering. Man, I love YouTube. That's great. Hold on, let's hear that again.
Yes, let's do it again.
Let's hear that again. Hold on. They added everybody.
Treated to death tonight.
You don't know what death is.
Man, I love YouTube.
Oh man, the internet wins again. What a burn. Been trick or treated to death. You don't know what death is. Oh. Oh, that's so awesome. All right, then that was on 2. Then we had 3, season of which we talked about it, and that's when they started to move towards the anthology. Then you had the Silver Shamrock. I think did Carpenter do the score? They were definitely the producers. It was the first film to be written and directed by Tommy Lee Wallace. He was part of the first one. Carpenter and Hill, the creators, returned as producers. It's the only entry that doesn't show Michael Myers. So again, I think this one is getting a lot more love as time goes on.
But it's got Tom Atkinson, which is more important.
Yeah, it does have Tom Atkinson. I mean, this was like a legit attempt to get into the anthology business, and I think it was a good entry. I mean, look, the budget was only 2.5 million, and it made 14 million domestic. So would you call that a failure? I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't. People were hungry for slasher films.
I think folks were not at the point where they could understand how this could work, and it would have worked. Maybe John Carpenter was too early, he's born too early. But this could have worked. You just had to think of it a different way. It would have been, had they done this today, it would have been something like, no, this one's called Season of the Witch, and it takes place on Halloween.
Yeah.
But it's a completely different story. But eventually, Tom Atkinson crossed paths with Michael Myers.
Oh,
in the
man.
next
yeah.
one.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they can do that now and it would still work. And I think this, the movie-going universe is a lot more savvy and prepared for these like shared universes and the crossovers than they were back then. But yeah, absolutely. He could have had his own story and then they could have crisscrossed because it was in the same universe, right? Kind of like Derry, Maine with Stephen King, where everything is in that town. And then Hulu had that show where they all took all these Stephen King stories were there.
They could have done that today. Although in that movie, there's a scene where they're watching Halloween 1 on TV.
Oh, there was?
Yeah. There's a scene where they're actually watching Halloween 1.
Oh, that's trippy right there. But I feel like that's Tarantino does that, where he's just like, these characters in my film are watching these other films that I made. So I guess that was their attempt. But yeah, definitely worth checking out if you haven't seen Season of the Witch. But then you got to go. That's well. That was worth it.
Man, I love YouTube.
Yes, they just won. Next up, we had Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. So let's go to. I don't remember much.
So the producers were like, "Screw all your anthology shit. We're just put the guy in the mask and give him a knife and film it."
Yep, and this was 1998 American slasher directed by Dwight H. Little, written by Alan B. McElroy. They got Donald Pleasance back.
I think he's in it all the way to 6, right?
Yeah. The 4th installment in the franchise, it follows Michael Myers returning to Haddonfield after being in a coma to kill his niece, Jamie Lloyd, the daughter of Laurie Strode, with the former psychiatrist Sam Loomis again pursuing him. So let's see. So budget was $5 million, and it made $17 million in '88. So slasher films were still it was late '80s, so it was all still going strong.
Yeah.
So anything memorable about that? I remember that was the introduction.
That was the one with the little girl, right?
Right. Yeah, and she wore the clown costume, kind of similar to him.
Right.
So I feel like
that one had a big twist ending.
It did, right? Because I feel like that's when eventually the goal was that they were going to try to take this niece and they were going to turn her into like a new Michael Myers.
That was the idea.
Yeah, I don't think they actually stuck with that. Let's see the ending. Loomis and Sheriff Meeker take the girls, where Darlene and Richard, I don't know them, console the traumatized children. Darlene goes upstairs to run a bath for Jamie. She's suddenly attacked. Loomis goes to see what happened. He finds an emotionless Jamie holding a pair of bloody scissors on the top of the stairs, reminiscent of Michael when he killed his own sister. Loomis screams, "No!" repeatedly as he attempts to shoot Jamie, but Sheriff Meeker stops him. Loomis sinks to the floor and begins sobbing as Rachel, Richard, and Meeker stare in horror. So I guess Jamie went right in for the kill, right? And try to be the new Michael Myers.
That's one of the ones they always play on Fear Fest on AMC.
The Return.
It's one of the. Well, I mean, I guess it's okay, but I feel like it's one of the lesser ones.
Yeah,
that's part of the Paul Rudd trilogy.
Yeah, we'll call it Paul Rudd trilogy. And then we had a year later.
Treated to death tonight.
You don't know what death is.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I don't know, man.
That's
pretty
pretty.
good.
That's
a pretty
pretty
good clip.
epic. Okay, next up, Halloween 5: The Revenge of Michael Myers. That's 1 year later in 1989. Budget was 5 million, and it made 11. As we found out later, that was the lowest grossing, but it had. It's 89. Donald Pleasanton's back. It follows serial killer Michael Myers, who again returns to Haddonfield to murder his niece, who's traumatized from his previous attack on her, has been institutionalized following her attempt to murder her foster mother. And I think this is the one when they start to like, we're going to get into what makes Michael evil, right? Let's jump to the end.
This one had the twist ending of the cult.
Yeah, Jamie goes back inside to investigate and finds the station destroyed from an explosion, along with Meeker and several other dead police officers. Jamie discovers Michael's cell is empty and the back door of the police station broken open, causing her to break down in tears. She realizes Michael's free again to continue terrorizing. So yeah, I guess this is the one where he gets a little help. Michael finds Jamie and attempts to kill her, but he stops when Jamie addresses him as Uncle. Uncle, Uncle.
Uncle Michael?
Yeah, Jamie touches his face and he goes into a fit of rage and chases her again. Yeah, interesting. Yes, I don't know if this was Bling's Jamie. Oh yeah, here it is. So one of the officers goes to bring Jamie home when a mysterious man in black who has been searching for Michael arrives and causes the explosion at the police station. So this is when they start to get into that cult, was like bringing Michael, and I guess that's what they're going to lead to, that she was going to be the next version of Michael, or she was going to be the sacrifice.
I think she was going to be the new Michael Myers.
Yeah, I think that was the lead in. All right, and then we jump to The Curse of Michael Myers was 1995, so 6 years passed. So yeah, so it was somewhat of a cliffhanger a little bit because he escaped through the prison.
Yeah, at the end, he gets freed by the cult guys.
Yeah.
That's where we meet them for the first time.
And then it jumps ahead, and then we never see what's going to get until we get the Paul Rudd version in there, because this is The Curse of Michael Myers. It was Donald Pleasant's final film appearance. Oh, his final film appearance, period. He wasn't in anything else. Paul Rudd in the sixth installment, and concludes the Thorn trilogy. They call it the Thorn trilogy. Did you know that? Story arc established in 4.
Thought it was the Paul Rudd trilogy.
Yeah, I think we should go. Set 6 years after the events of 5, the plot follows Michael Myers as he stalks the Strode family, cousins of Laurie Strode, in order to kill his last surviving relatives, while Dr. Sam Loomis pursues him once more. The film also reveals the source of Michael's immortality and drives to kill it. So I think this is when people were like, they didn't want to know, right? That they'd rather think that just evil is just blank evil. There's not too much thought into it, where now this is when they start to get, it's like some kind of cult curse.
What year was that?
This was 1995. But listen to this. After the film's home media release, the original work print of the film, which featured 45 minutes of alternative footage and a different ending, was discovered by fans of the series. This version, dubbed the producer's cut, developed a cult following, with bootleg DVDs copies sold on eBay and online petitions targeting for an official release. In 2014, the producer's cut was officially released on Blu-ray. It was followed by Halloween H2O in 1998, which retconned the entire Thorn trilogy storyline of the previous 3 films and is instead a direct sequel to Halloween 2. I didn't know that there was a Snyder cut, basically, for The Curse of Michael Myers.
I'd heard of that, yeah. Producer's cut.
Yeah, it was.
Apparently, Ornato was terrified of Michael Myers.
That was too early, not even today. Michael scares the shit out. Sounds that. Fun fact, snuck into the comm as a 6-year-old. Oh, yeah.
What was crazy about all the movies is they never got the mask. They could never get the mask right.
No.
After the first one.
Yeah, they struggled.
I don't even think they had it in the sequel.
No, they really struggled. It was super clean. Like, he had a great dry cleaner. But maybe that's where the budget went. The budget was $5 million and it made $15 million, because I think people were curious about the Man in Black. Because it says 6 years later, Jamie gives birth to a baby, and the Man in Black, revealed to be the leader of the druid-like cult, takes the child away. Later, the midwife helps Jamie escape with her baby, but Michael kills her. So yeah, this is when they really started getting into the cult. How does this one end? Let's jump ahead. Tommy Doyle, which is Paul Rudd, frees Kara as Michael, that must be the mom, pursues them through the sanitarium. They find Wynn and his team were about to perform a medical procedure on Danny and Steven. Michael suddenly appears and turns against Wynn and the doctor, killing all of them. Tommy and Kara rescue the kids, and Michael chases them into a lab where Kara notices fetuses from Wynn's failed experiment. Oh yeah, that's why I jumped the shark. Tommy injects Michael with corrosive and beats him unconscious with a lead pipe. Oh, okay, so there is history with Tommy and a pipe, because I feel like he had a pipe in this latest one too. Tommy, Kara, and the children leave Smith's Grove while Loomis stays behind to take care of business. Inside, Michael's mask lies alone on the lab floor, and Loomis screams in the background, leaving their fates unknown.
All right, so that's the revenge.
Yeah, that was the curse. So it looks like that was that's when the RetroCon began. So people were not a fan of the Rudd curse. So actually, it was only 3 years later, which surprises me. I thought it was much, much later. It was H2O 20 years later, and this is the one where they leapfrog and they said only 1 and 2 happened, and the rest didn't happen. So that was the first time history was erased. And it was 1998, directed by Steve Marner. It got Jamie Lee Curtis back. Got some of the 90s heartthrobs in there, Adam Arkin, Michelle Williams, and Josh Hartnett. And it was the 7th installment of the franchise. Yeah, retroconning the Jamie Lloyd story arc of the previous 3, H2O is a direct sequel to the first 2 films and follows a post-traumatic Laurie Strode who has faked her death in order to go into hiding from her brother Michael, who finds her working at a private boarding school in California. But the budget was $17 million, and it's still,
I mean, that was after
75.
Scream, so that was when horror movies or slasher movies were hip again.
Yeah.
Hip.
Yes, that's what it is. And and then we talked about that earlier. Michael reaches out to Laurie, and they almost touch hands right before she decapitates him with a fire axe. So that should have been the end, but guess what? It wasn't, because it brought back Rick Rosenthal, like you talked about, from Halloween 2, who is Halloween Resurrection, and that was 2002. So we're into the 2Ks now.
This one had a reality show gimmick.
Right, yeah. The film is a direct sequel to H2O and stars Busta Rhymes, Bianca Calich Thomas, Ian Nichols, Sean Patrick Thomas, Tyra Banks was in it, and Jamie Lee Curtis. It follows Michael Myers continuing his murderous rampage in the hometown of Haddonfield when his old derelict childhood home is used for a live internet horror show. And I just remember Busta Rhymes doing karate on Michael Myers. That was the gist of all I remember.
He does do karate on Michael Myers.
Yeah, I feel like he just I know karate. He's definitely got into show enough mode. And the budget was $15 million, and it made $37. So it's still profitable. Even people not being happy with it, it was still profitable. Although another sequel was planned to follow Resurrection, the next film in the franchise became Halloween, the 2007 remake directed by Rob Zombie. So I think at that point they just gave up going back to the well with Loomis and Jamie Lee, and just straight up were just going to reimagine it. And that was in 2007. I don't know.
Let's get a cool, edgy director to come here and do this.
Yeah, in 2007, Rob Zombie was doing. I don't know if this was obviously he had already done House of a Thousand Corpses. I don't know if he did The Devil's Rejects by then. Let's check that out. Yeah, produced by Rob Zombie in 2007. Let's see. Well, 1988 and 2001 were his solo debut. Oh, no, that was his music. Focused on his film work in 2007 and 2009. Yeah, so it was right around that time. He was definitely a high. I remember it was a cool poster, and it was like Evil Had a New Destiny, but I think they went to do, they wanted to go back and try to make another origin story. It said, working from Carpenter's advice to make the film his own way, Zombie chose to develop the film as both an origin story and a remake, allowing for more original content than simply refilming the same scenes. And despite mixed reviews, the film cost $15 million but went on to gross $80. Because again, it's got Halloween in the title, so there's no way you're going to not go see it. And I actually did recast a few people. So Sam Loomis was played by Malcolm McDowell in this, and
Yeah.
then Scout Taylor Compton as Laurie Strode. And then they had a Dag for I don't know if I'm saying his name, but I just remember he was like this like punk edgy kid that he was the original Michael Myers.
I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that Rob Zombie had a really hard time on that movie, and it was like one of the worst experiences for him as far as filmmaking goes.
Really?
I thought it was okay. I mean, I think some of the choices I couldn't get behind. I didn't like who they cast as Michael Myers.
Yeah.
I thought he was too big, like
Yeah, he was
kind of
huge.
went over the top with the size there.
Yeah, was
of
he the
Michael
same
Myers.
guy who played like he played like one of the X-Men, didn't he? Like he was a big dude.
I don't know, the guy who played Sabretooth possibly?
Yeah, I think he was the guy who played Sabretooth. Yep.
The origin story stuff, I mean, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. They give it sort of a Jeffrey Dahmer vibe. He like kills animals and stuff, and he's twisted as a kid. But to me, that sort of takes away from the whole lore of the original. Was like, we don't know why this kid killed his sister.
Yeah. No, I agree. And yeah, and it's getting a little bit too attaching to it, so giving him an origin story too much. But yeah, I remember liking that first one, but I remember really disliking the second one, which came out 2 years later in 2009. That his version of Halloween 2, I did not dig.
The second one is bonkers.
Yeah, it's just
It's really bonkers.
like Family is Forever. It started getting into more of like a mystical Texas Chainsaw Massacre more than anything. I don't remember that thing. I think it still made money. Yeah, I mean, budget was 15 million and it made 39 million. Halloween 2 decided to focus more on the connection between Strode and Myers, the idea that they share similar psychological problems. He wanted the sequel to be more realistic and violent than its 2007 predecessor, which, again, they get into the Halloween, and it's the arguments coming out with the current one versus the original one, where it was just more of they called the original theater of the mind, where it's just like your imagination was doing more, where you weren't seeing it, you were thinking it.
I thought about it.
Yeah. Yeah, so Dr. Loomis is trying to capitalize on the events, publishing a new book that chronicles everything that happened. Michael Myers continues his search for Laurie so he can reunite with his sister. So that was 2009. But that was the end of it. I don't think that... I'm surprised they didn't commit to a trilogy on that, because I feel like at that point, trilogies were the thing that you were committing to, but then they did it later. What's up, Podcat? You agreeing?
She's just in for the Michael Myers trivia. Cats on microphone is cool. Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2 kind of didn't land. I thought it was a good idea at first, but then when I saw it, I was like, this is too it's too Rob Zombie-ish.
Yeah.
The dad's a drunk and the mom's getting abused and they live in a trailer. It's just kind of like, I don't know that this was the direction. Because number one, part one took place in a neighborhood. That's what made it scary.
Yeah.
The weird house down the street from you.
Right, yeah,
Not
exactly.
not the trailer park that you drive by.
Yeah, it is like the first one I dug, the second one didn't land, and I think everyone agreed with that. And then they let it rest. And they let it rest for almost 10 years before now that brings us to 2018's trilogy, which is going to be, I don't know, we'll call it the Eastbound and Down trilogy, right?
The Jason Blum trilogy.
Yeah, it is definitely the Blumhouse. You got David Gordon Green and Danny McBride as the writers in there. And then we get Halloween, which was 2018, Halloween Kills, which came out this past weekend. And then we're going to get Halloween Ends next year. So we're going to get a full trilogy. This one legit feels like New Hope, Empire Strikes Back. I just don't want any Ewoks in Halloween Ends. But they definitely end Halloween Kills on that Empire Strikes Back. But Halloween, I feel like they did nail it, because even though it's the original in the trilogy, this one they decided we're going to skip all the other ones except Halloween 1978. So this is the new Halloween 2. It's like you need the internet to keep up with this.
And it also takes place in a hospital, just like the original Halloween 2.
Yeah,
And I
Halloween
love
Kills
the
does,
opening
yeah.
credits. They did the same pumpkin gimmick as Halloween 2.
They did same font, and they dated the font as well too. Where I remember in Halloween 2018, it was the pumpkin was kind of like the rotting pumpkin came back to life. Where then this pumpkin was on fire, which obviously fire was a big part of like Halloween Kills. But I remember like Halloween, everyone kind of laughed at it, the 2018 one, because you're like, this is taking place in real time. So he goes from 1978 to 2018, and now he's like an old guy. But again, I think this trilogy is picking up what Loomis originally said. He's more than a man. He's evil. So even
Yeah.
though he's aged, he still has this bizarre strength and this ability to take shots, and I feel like they touched on it in Halloween 2018, but they really drive it home in this one in Halloween Kills, that it's just like he takes some blows and he just keeps coming.
He's like a dark man, his sort of pain sensitivity's
Yes.
been reduced.
Die, dark man, die.
It was the 2018 Halloween 2018. I thought it was solid,
Yeah.
well made, well directed, good sequel, follow up, whatever, sequel boot, whatever we call
Sequel,
it. now.
yeah. I guess that would be what you'd call it. It's definitely a sequel boot.
Yeah, just well made overall. I thought it was good. I liked it.
I guess the only thing, and I guess this was, I remember being taken back that it's just like in Halloween 2018, he let some kids live, but then he killed that kid in the car. And I was just like, it felt like it didn't match. But I mean, I guess that would be a shark, maybe not hungry at the time, but then hungry at the time. But he put like a kid like in a headlock and like snap his neck.
Pretty sure he turned one guy into a jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah, so I mean, this one they definitely start to lean in towards the violence, but they get obviously Laurie Strode is back, Will Patton is back, and they give that whole backstory to one of the officers from the original one, and then they really drive that home in Halloween Kills. But I like that. At least I think this one is gonna work because the film Hollywood is learning that you have to have this, except for Disney and sequel trilogies, that if you're going to do something with mythology like this, you better have it planned out for 3 films and
Yeah, I
tie it
think
all
that's
together.
that's the case now.
Don't make this shit up as you go along. So I definitely get the feeling that they're building towards a big crescendo.
And apparently the next one's going to have a big time jump. It's going to jump to the present day.
Okay. Yeah, and I can get behind that because, yeah, this one was like similar to Halloween, and Halloween 2 was like later that night. I feel like this version of Halloween and Halloween 2 was also later that night, where it basically takes place when you saw at the end of Halloween in 2018, let him burn, because they trapped him in the basement and they were letting him burn. And that was like alluding to, oh man, they're going to put the fire out and he's going to come back, and then that's exactly what happens. And so it was a good continuation, but then they went into the new territory with Anthony Michael Hall as the new Tommy Doyle, as the new Paul Rudd. But overall, I mean, I really did dig it. It felt like it ended very much like Empire Strikes Back. Like, oh crap, I feel like the bad guys won on this.
I think folks were not digging it. Well, you got to think about it. 2018 to now, how much has the world changed since then, right?
Yeah.
So folks are different. Folks are right now are very sensitive.
Yeah.
There's folks out there that are sensitive to the fact that I'm saying they're sensitive. Yeah. So it's a different. People were just. I have people on the internet, which is not an actual place, but like they're just upset about a lot of it, and I'm like, it's about a guy killing random innocent people.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what the movie's about, and this is it's the central the mid part of a trilogy. I think we've all come to, like you said, accept that the part 2 of a trilogy is usually a downer.
Yeah.
That's how they go.
Yeah.
And this is that. I thought the kills are great. I think the thing that probably didn't get over for a lot of people was the Jamie Lee Curtis and Will Patton stuff, which kind of spells out. She pretty much says the themes of the movie out loud. And, lays it on pretty thick, right on the nose. And they
Yeah.
just left those conversations out. They should have talked about other stuff. Like they were talking about how they used to date for a while. That was good.
Yeah, that was cool. I did like that. Like I did enjoy the backstory they gave to it.
But the stuff with them sort of saying about how evil he was and how he's Now he's turning us into the monster. Well, we get it. You didn't have to tell us that. We see it happening.
Yeah.
You know, we get the theme of the movie. We see where it's going. But I don't know. I don't know if that was a producer's note or what. It said, like, they're not going to understand what's going on. Make sure Jamie Lee Curtis says that we're the actual monster.
Yeah, that actually comes out and say it. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. They didn't say it because, yeah, I mean, you run the risk in this one that it was just like, wait, is Michael Myers the baby face? Are all these people a bunch of assholes?
He's a baby face by the end, right?
Yeah, it almost.
So it's weird booking, but I think, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say the writing could have been better, sure, but it's not bad. I don't know why people think it's bad.
No, it's not bad by any stretch. And look, they set up for the main event. They set up for exactly what you're going to expect. You're going to get the face-off between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. And this one feels like it's going to be the last one. Like, we just read through all the Halloween ones, and I feel like they went back to the well with Michael and Loomis and Laurie. And I feel like this one legitimately does feel like it's going to be the last one.
Until the next one.
Like, yeah, but how if they do, it's gonna have to be something completely different. They're gonna have to Jurassic World versus Jurassic Park versus Jurassic World this, I think, at this point.
I think they should Jason exit.
Send him to cryo freeze him and
Yeah,
send him
cryo
space.
freeze him, send him to space, send him to the future. I'd like to see that movie.
I'm a huge mark for that, so I would love to see that and see him go into space or into the future. But again, yeah, it's a great franchise that you're going to revisit annually. So I think that's what it's going to always have a click. You know, we enjoy our horror. I'm of the mind of Wes Craven that horror movies don't create horror. They help you release fear. They don't create fear. So and this is one that we're going to visit perennially. Like every year we're going to go back and visit these movies. So even if they never make another one, I mean, we got a ton of installments that we can go back and review and enjoy. So let's just, again, it's supposed to be entertainment. So let's just enjoy it. Although it's entertainment of watching serial, but it's fictional, right? It's like, I'm not a mark for the ones that was like, if there was like this Michael Myers was based on a real person, now that's a different discussion. It's like, I prefer
It's actually based on this guy who used to be on Saturday Night Live.
What do you mean?
There was a comedian on Saturday Night Live named Michael Myers.
Oh,
That's based on.
Oh, I was just like, wait a minute, I thought you had a real. Yeah, I feel like that's finally getting the meme treatment that it so rightfully deserves. You know, because I remember there was an MTV Movie Awards, and they were doing, you know how they always insert the actors, and it had a before memes, you had to do it during the MTV Movie Awards, and they kind of inserted
That was the original meme.
Yeah,
to go in an awards show and say something was funny.
Yeah, so they had to do it as Scream version, and then like Michael Myers, and then of course they showed Mike Myers, and he's like, wait, me? So yeah, good stuff. But yeah, let's see if Halloween Ends truly does Halloween Ends. But we know that stories like this, they never end. They never end. I was gonna say, if you're gonna end it on your we don't are you trying to trick or treat me?
What?
The YouTube clip you were playing. I figured that's the way you got to play us out. It's like, you don't know what death is. Oh!
Trick or treated to death tonight.
You don't know what death is.
All right, let's get out of here.
All right.
Hold it down. Hey, no. I'm not around you. All right, check me out.